What's going on, everybody? Justin here with Prime Landscaping, back with another video here on one of my job sites in Stony Point, New York. Just over 2,000 square feet of pavers, pool coping all the way around the pool, of course. This is a pretty sweet project, beautiful house, new construction house. Actually, I really love this house. I love it so much that that's the house that I want to build for myself. Interesting project here. I actually got this job through a connection I made, which is through my boy, Junior Castro. He owns a landscaping company as well, but he doesn't really do much landscaping anymore. He has a big triaxle business. He does a lot of trucking, like dump trucks, all that crazy stuff. And now he stepped into building houses. So he actually built this house, brought me in for the hardscaping, and we're knocking this thing out for him. Getting this house wrapped up. Homeowners already live here, so we're trying to make sure we could get this done for them so they can enjoy the pool. Still mid-July, so they'll have all of August to enjoy the pool. But this will be done this week, so it's July 15th will be done, by the 20th, and they could have a party this weekend. Just to show you guys the project a little bit, this is actually a limestone quarry blend paver from Cambridge. This is an Excel paver, which is basically just a lot larger than the normal size paver, right? So a lot more labor intensive when it comes to this kind of paver because they're heavier, of course, they're bigger. Definitely, if there's any, tips and tricks that I could give anybody in this industry is always account for the material that you're using in terms of how labor intensive it could be. So this obviously will take a lot longer than a 6x9 paver would take. So that's why when they say online, when you hear, guys talking about pavers and don't charge by square footage, this is what they mean, right? Because not only is this more labor intensive on this paver, but it's actually more expensive than a 6x9 paver, right? This paver right here costs around $4.70 a square foot. I know a 6x9 paver costs I think $3.90. So big difference, especially when you're talking about 2,000 square feet of pavers. Definitely account for that. Definitely account for that. But otherwise, this project is coming out great. The XL, this color is actually one of my favorites. It has a gray, white, black, even some tan in there in some areas. But overall, super nice paver. And we also went ahead and, as you could see, this is a retaining wall holding back all this dirt, right, because of the terrain. Same color, same exact color name. This is Sigma 8-inch wall block, limestone quarry blend from Cambridge. They are open cells, retaining wall blocks, so these got to be filled with stone, which is basically what's being done, over here, filling with stone as we go to the top. Very, very important. GeoGrid. Can't forget about the GeoGrid on all retaining walls. You gotta make sure when you're building walls, especially a wall of this size. I mean, this wall's engineered, but you could see it's over 6 feet. I'm 5'7". This wall, here at the highest point is taller than me. So, and it still needs a cap. So make sure when you're building walls, even if it's a 3-foot wall, 4-foot wall, whatever it is, build it right, do it the right way. As you could see, that's something that I like to do. I like to overkill things. You could see there's 5 feet of drain rock behind that, 6. It's just better that way. Even for the base here, when we were getting it ready, I think we have a foot of base. Over here by me, we live and work next to a quarry. So stone is cheap for us, ridiculously cheap. We don't pay that premium that probably most guys pay from a supplier. For us, it's not really the biggest deal, and it's actually better when we overkill it because then we just know nothing is ever going to happen to this. Another thing is the open graded base that we are using. So basically the way that we install our pavers is not the traditional old-fashioned way that most guys usually do. As you can see here, we have a 3/4 stone, clean stone, 3/4 clean stone as our first initial base. So that base is typically going to be, anywhere from 6 to 8 inches, or even a foot like we do, which is, crazy. But again, I live next to a quarry. We work next to a quarry, 15 minutes away from us, probably less depending wherever you're working, and we can get it for cheap basically. So 3/4 inch base as your, your sub base. And then for screeding, the traditional way that most people do is they use item 4 RCA, and then they'll use concrete sand or stone dust. We use 1/4 inch chips. Same thing, get it from the quarry, clean stone, right? And when I say clean, like obviously there's dust on it, but there is no like minus, like it's not mixed in with minus. Like the stone is a little bit dirty, but it's not mixed in with minus. So clean stone, open graded base, this is what it's called. The reason that we use open graded base here in New York is 2 reasons. Most and all of the paver manufacturers now are recommending you use open graded base. In fact, they won't even warranty your work if you're not laying pavers. They won't warranty their product if you're not laying pavers on open graded base. Use open graded base, obviously. Find out through whatever manufacturer you use. And also, I mean, it's just better for any of those who know a little bit about drainage. When you do a drainage pit or dry well, anything like that, what do you use? You use all clean stone. So basically, this acts as a dry well underneath this patio. Water won't sit there, right? Like if you take a bucket of RCA, you dump water in it, like it's just gonna always be humid, like the top, like it'll take forever to dry. And then what happens is in the wintertime, it freezes, you know what I mean? Then now it's expanding, pushing up your pavers. Unlike the open graded base, everything drains right through, and obviously it'll take some time to go into the soil, but it drains right through. Open graded base, man, is the way to go. Here on this project, we also did the coping. This is a bullnose coping, coal color from Cambridge. It's a 6-inch wide piece of pool coping by 12, and pretty much mortar joints. You could do this many different ways. Like you could not have the 1/4 inch joint. You could not have the 1/4 inch joint, or you could just have this 1/4 inch joint like this. There's many ways that you could do it. It's just basically as how creative as you can get. But just a little bit of information on the coping. The coping would take about a day and a half, 2 guys, day and a half to just lay the coping, right? If you're doing the joints, it'll take another day with 2 guys. So if you're not doing joints, all in all, coping would take about a day and a half. But remember, you're gonna need a lot more material than you would need if you were doing just, with the joints, because you're losing a 1/4 inch after every piece of pool coping, which would result in less material. So overall, pool coping came out great. We're actually finishing up. We laid, pretty much all the pavers already. We just got this little corner over here to finish laying, and then we're gonna install our 6x9 border going all the way around, even right here in this area, going around the planter, this planter box. So this as well, I didn't design this project. Something that's very important for guys out there doing projects when you're doing a patio this size is try to definitely, include some of these planter boxes. Even like, you see we did another one over there. We didn't put pavers up against the house. Include some landscaping, include some bushes, some plants, some flowers, you know what I mean? Break up the hardscape, break up that concrete look. So 2 to 3 days left on this project before we fully wrap up. A day to 2 days of doing the borders all the way around. Another day of poly sand. And then the same day we poly sand, probably finish cleaning up that day. And it's a wrap. On to the next one. So I'm excited to keep, showing you guys projects like this. It wasn't always like this. I remember when I wasn't doing projects of this size. I remember when I was dreaming of getting projects this size, and now here I am. In fact, for those who are watching, I remember wanting these kind of projects like forever. I was like, man, like I want to do big projects. I want to do big projects. Believe it or not, I'm doing this project now, and it feels like I'm still behind. So for those that are just starting out, hustling, you're always gonna feel that way. Just keep grinding, keep hustling. That's what I'm doing every day. Just, trying to get more projects, more work, grow the business as much as possible, and just keep on killing it. So other than that, I'll catch you guys on the next one.